How y'all doing? Until recently, I have been reloading my shotgun shells with a Hornady 360 auto reloader for 12 gauge. I recently come into possession of a MEC 9000G. I'm liking it much better than I did the Hornady, and I wanted to show y'all just how easily you can load a box of 25 shells and how quickly you can do it. So sit back and we'll go through the reloading process of 25 shells of once fired AA hulls. Okay, so we've got 25 of the AA hulls once fired. One of the good things about working at a gun range is I can pick up all the holes and pick and choose what I want. So before we start loading the whole box of 25, the first thing to do is to test it with one, make sure it goes through the process and everything is good. So we'll take and put a primer in here, put a shell in station one. Station one, it will deprime the shell. It'll rotate around. At the next station, it will insert a new primer, drop my powder. I'm using 21 grains of powder, 700X powder. It'll rotate around at the next station. It will insert a wad, and then it will drop 1 ounce of number 8 shot. At the next station, it will pre-crimp it. The next station, it will crimp, and at the last station, it'll do the final crimp, and it will eject. I'll catch the first one, but after that, they go down inside this little tube and into a bucket I have down below it to catch my shells, my loaded shells. So first of all, we got our primer in here, so we're ready to do it. One pull of the handle, it deprimes it. Normally it would drop a primer in there. It's going to move it to the next station. At this station, we're going to put in the new primer, put in our shell or powder. It moves it around. We put in a wad. We're going to insert the wad, drop our shot, move to the next station. We'll do a pre-crimp, crimp, final crimp. We'll catch this one. And as you can see, we have a nice shell. Looks like something you get out of a box somewhere. We'll stick this one over here in my little tray. So at this point, we've done our original shell. We know everything's good. So now we'll start to feed shells in here. First, we'll hook up our spring to our hook. This will auto feed our primers into the system. We start by depriming, put a new shell in there. We're going to set the primer. So now we're going to put a wad in place, put a new shell in there, and a new shell again, and a wad. Slippery devils, aren't they? Get a new shell and a wad. And now we're going to put this one in. We'll have all the stations full, which means that every pull of the handle now will give you a completed shell. Drop one. Always remember to put your wads in place. As you can see, it's fairly rhythmic. You can get an attachment to set this so that instead of pulling the handle, it's hydraulic, and you step on the pedal and it hydraulically does this for you. I haven't got to that point yet. I plan to add it somewhere down the road. Shell and a wad. You could probably go a little faster, but sometimes if you go too fast, you forget something or things happen, and I'd really rather not have the mess if I can get away with it. When we get all the way loaded up with the last one here, we've got about a half a dozen more. So these will be 1 ounce number 8s in once fired AA holes. Take them back out to the range. We'll shoot some clays with them. Like I said, I'm liking this MEC 9000 way much better than I was the Hornady, although there was nothing wrong with the Hornady. All right, that's our last shell. Put a wad in here. So once we drop this primer, first thing you want to do is take the spring off so it won't drop any more primers. Put another wad in here. At this point, it should cut off your powder automatically. Put a wad, drop your shells, and at this point it'll cut off your shot. Now it's just a matter of crimping and running out the last few. That's our box. Now we pull our bucket out with all our loaded shells. Nice, pretty shells, all ready to go. I have a stack them up in the so we can load them up with a box. This makes loading into a box much easier than doing it by hand. Kind of do a quick glance at your shells as you're putting them in there to make sure everything looks good on them. As you can see, it didn't take that long to do 25 shells. So you can sit here, you got the holes and you got the other components that you need, you can sit here and knock out 100 or 200 shells easily in a half an hour. And our last one. And the last thing we're going to do is grab a box. I use old Fiachi boxes. It makes no difference what you use, because I'm going to mark them anyway. And you slide the box down over top, turn it over, slide it out, and you have a nice box of shells. You close the lid on it. I take a pen and I mark these as 8-shot, 1 ounce, and I write reloads across the top so that I know that it's not a box of new shells. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed that.